dear children. Good morning all. Yesterday we have seen the structure and functions of antibody. Exclusively we have completed the structure of antibody. Today in this class we have seen the antigen-antibody interactions. From the beginning I am telling you, antigen and antibody form the basis for immunology. There is no immunology without the antigen and antibodies. Now in this class we are going to see how the antigen and antibody are interreacted or interacted. Before we get into the interaction, let us see the types of antigens. Types of antigens. As I told you already, any foreign substance entered from outside and cause disease to the human body is called an antigen. Antigens are of two types, namely exogenous antigens and endogenous antigens. These are the two major types of antigens. Antigens which come from outside are called exogenous antigens. There are some antigens found inside our body itself. They are called endogenous antigens. Actually, these are all disease causing, but the endogenous antigens never cause the own body. Actually, the blood group antigens are examples for endogenous antigens. We have antigens in our blood. Those antigens are called endogenous antigens. So you don't think that antigens are always happening or causing disease to the body, no sir. Then how do we have antigens in our blood? Blood group antigens never harm the body, never cause disease to the own body. That's why they are called endogenous antigens. Then apart from that, antigens are particulate and soluble. If an antigen is a substance which is capable of dissolved, it is called a soluble antigen. It may be a substance, it may be a food or whatever it is called soluble antigen. If the antigen, if the foreign particle enter from outside and cause disease is a microorganism, it is called particulate antigen. I hope you are able to distinguish. Both are antigens. If the antigen is a microorganism, it is called a particulate antigen. If the antigen is a substance, it is called a soluble antigen. This is the major difference between particulate and soluble antigens. Now, let's proceed the antigen and antibody interactions. I have told you already, antibodies are produced only by B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes are the producers of antibodies. Never the T lymphocyte produce an antibody. And the immunity brought by B lymphocytes through the production of antibody is called humoral or antibody mediated immunity. Antibody mediated immunity. These are all known informations for your remembrance and recall those terminologies. Now let's get into imagine a microbe or any antigen comes from outside. Very immediately our B lymphocytes releases the antibodies. The antibodies go in contact with the antigen. How they both bind with each other and the antibody destroyed. The antigen is called antigen-antibody interaction. First and foremost, imagine this is the antigen, this is the antibody. How close they are, the binding is stronger. If the antigen and antibodies leave a distance among themselves, the binding will be, the strength of binding will be very low. So if they go nearby each other, the force of binding is very strong. If they are left in some distance, the force of binding is little bit low. One thing. Secondly, the bond, while they are sticking with each other, the bond is always a non-covalent bond. If it is a covalent bond, the reaction will not be proper. So, while they are binding with each other, the bond is non-covalent bonds. There are 4 or 3 steps through which the antigen-antibody reaction takes place. First one is precipitation. Precipitation is the first step. Second step is agglutination. Agglutination is the second step. Third step is the absonization. Absonization is the third step. And the fourth step is the neutralization. Neutralization is the fourth step. These are the 4 steps through which an antibody binds with the antigen and destroy it. First one is precipitin. If the entering antigen is a soluble antigen, வெளியிலிருந்து உள்ள வர அந்த antigen, if a soluble antigen, already I told you what is a soluble antigen. If the entering antigen is soluble, the antibodies will precipitate them. Precipitate in the sense, antibodies, the liquidification, right? Liquidification takes place, right? When the antibodies go in contact with the soluble antigen, it becomes a precipitate. From the liquid state, it turns up into a semi-solid state. That is why it is called precipitation. If the entering antigen is a particulate antigen, this step takes place. If it is a microbe, the antibodies go and clump. Clump means stick on the antigen. Antibodies go nearby the antigen, stick on them. This process is called agglutination or clumping. Clumping takes place. This is the second step, agglutination. Third step is absonization. After stick on the antigen, the antibody form a coat. It just surround the antigen. Second step, it go and stick on the antigen. Third step, it forms a coat around the antigen and become a cover. This process is called absonization. Coating over process. It is called a coating over process. Fourth step, first it go and stick on the antigen. Then it spreads around the antigen, forms a coat. Last step after that, neutralization. It detoxifies the toxic effects of the antigen. Antigen la irukra and the poisonous element neutral pannirum. These antibodies with their strength, the antibodies may neutralize the toxic effect of the antigen. This is the final step. So there are 4 steps through which the antibodies bind to the antigen and detoxify them. With this we conclude the